Want to order a public hearing on the application by Gabe Mather on behalf of Historic Oklahoma LLC for a landmarks review of file 26-17 for exterior modification of Oklahoma Hotel Building at 201 Cascade Avenue. Let's go through now. Gotcha. Quorum of Landmarks Board is present. I will now ask members to disclose any pre-hearing ex parte contacts regarding the application or absentations based on conflicts of interest bias.
None.
I'll probably just like everybody, I've been in that space. And if anything comes up where that's relevant, I will let you know.
I have nothing. Nothing. I haven't been in the space yet. No, I'm looking forward to it.
I paid to have my parents stay there.
So your credit card has been in the space.
Would anyone present or online like to challenge any Landmarks Board's members' ability to hear this application? Is there anyone online? If not, let me provide an overview of this hearing and some rules of procedure. You want to talk about the date now? Gotcha. First, we will hear the city staff report. Then we will hear from the applicant. Then we will take testimony from the public. After we've taken testimony and asked questions, we will close the record and render a decision. Our decision is not final until it's reduced to writing. To appeal our decision, you must participate orally or in writing. Does anyone have any questions regarding the hearing process or have any procedural issues they would like to raise? If not, let's start with the staff report.
Thank you, Chair. This is a landmarks review request for exterior alterations to the Lightwell Hotel, including installation of a steel shroud over the existing grill on the existing rooftop deck, a ground level window on the northern elevation, as well as signage, an awning, trash enclosure, and exhaust duct improvements. As noted within the staff report, the proposed blade sign modifications and the painted wall sign are excluded from the review. The blade signs do not trigger additional landmarks review, and the wall sign remains consistent with the landmarks approval 2023-12. All other modifications are recommended for approval subject to conditions and can be found on page 13 and 14 of your staff report and packet. Thank you.
Any questions for staff before we hear from the applicant?
I do. Can you clarify the extent to which these changes have already been made? It looked like there were photographs of changes that were being asked to approve. So am I misunderstanding whether those are misconceptions or have the changes been made?
These are field changes that happened as building was being done on site that weren't approved through building permit or landmarks yet. So this is seeking retroactive approval.
And is that the case for all of these items?
Yes.
Well, we have to get you on the record, so I don't think they can hear you on the, you're not on the microphone if you're sitting there.
So the blade signs are contemplated as part of this review, and that is correct. The awning has not been installed yet.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We'll now hear from the applicant.
Got it. Okay. Hi. So I'm not sure, I didn't prepare any kind of a formal proposal. I felt like the staff report was pretty clear. So happy to field questions, but just to me, like the most significant thing that we're seeking approval for is that our approved plans always had a barbecue shown on our roof deck up in the northwest corner of the roof deck. So that was always, something that was known to be part of our program. And it wasn't until a very And as we were seeking final approvals from the building inspector, that they were like, that we're kind of worried about like this barbecue up here, like what do you got for sort of a fire suppression system and non-combustible? And we're like, oh, we didn't realize, it just never got caught throughout the entire permit review process. So we worked with the county that's handling our inspections, and they said we need a non-combustible three-sided enclosure around this barbecue. We need some sort of fire suppression system. So we
You didn't identify yourself, so that's
Oh.
wondering who you're.
my name is Gabe Genauer,
Yeah.
and I'm the general contractor and one of the owners.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm part of the ownership group of Lightwell, and I'm also the project manager
Okay,
for.
thank you.
So Carrington and I are partners in the construction, Carrington Bars. So that, and so what we have up there, we're calling it a mock-up. It's, we basically test fit, these three, metal panels. It's barely noticeable. It's easy to walk around the corner and you can see that, and there's a photograph of it. So you can see exactly what you would be approving, if you choose to do so. But, it essentially, it's a life safety requirement that was unanticipated during construction that we had to add in order to be able to provide food, because given that we had this plan to have a barbecue up there, we didn't put cooking facilities in our little prep kitchen area. So without that, we don't get to use the rooftop area for its historic purpose, which was to have, food and beverage and gathering up there. And then the other items, the awning, I'm not really sure why we didn't have two on the original landmark submission. All the historic photos show multiple awnings along that east facade. And so we put the one up that was approved originally. We like it. We think it looks nice. And it also provides a little bit of sun and in the winter rain protection along the street, and will make the lobby more comfortable and enable us to have a valet outside and assist with parking. So I think, it will serve some important functional purposes for us. And also we think it actually will look better and more consistent with how the historic awnings were laid out on that facade.
You said extent.
Yeah.
Good. You talk a little bit about the other, like the glass, the trash enclosure and the exhaust.
Sure. So we needed to, find a solution for having trash for the building, located somewhere. The south alley was the spot that made sense. It's completely it's not seen at all. You can't see down that side. Not only is it obstructed by the building to the south of it, but there's also a jog in the building there, and it's tucked inside that little jog. So it's something that has zero aesthetic impact, but very important functional piece for a building of this type. So it's just a little lean-to roof that comes off the south alley and just covers the trash.
So concerning the awning, I remember we had a lot of discussion about awnings back when we did the initial approval. And so what you're saying is that somehow we only approved a single piece of awning?
Correct.
And where is that?
So the one that's up right now is basically the center of the east facade. So it goes over the our main ADA entrance. So we have the historic angled entrance that's at the corner. And then as you head south up Second, then there's our primary accessible entrance. And we have an awning over that. And then there's an additional large storefront window that's between the corner and the existing awning. And so that's where we're proposing to add a second one.
And are you doing approval for awnings along the entire periphery or just the second one?
Yeah, just the additional second one.
Okay, and is there a reason why you're not seeking to get permission to do awnings on the entire facade?
We're really looking at them at this point as both for aesthetics and function. And we have like a sort of a compelling functional reason to put the additional one on the east facade, as well as the,
I would hate for us to have to come back together again to give you permission again.
right, yeah,
That's the reason why, if you were to ask for. I mean, I don't know if we're at a stage where a modification like this could be made, but if we were to approve awnings on any of the facade,
mhm.
would that obligate them to put those awnings?
I think there probably could be written in a way where that's an option, but not necessarily locking them into any remaining awnings on the eastern facade where it shows they existed in those historic photos that you provided.
Oh, so you're saying because we haven't seen historic photos, I haven't actually looked for those.
To show them the picture, you see it right here.
Yeah, no, I provided them with that picture, so I know that one, but I'm wondering. I am wondering about the lack of awnings on the north facade, whether there are photos or not of that. I haven't looked for them, so I don't.
Right. Yeah, we don't have any currently. We didn't have a plan immediately to do them. It's not to say that someday we maybe wouldn't want to, but we don't have any plans or budget to do it right now.
They're considering the so the plan is to put them on the continuous set of awnings on the entire east facade.
Just one, so we're not proposing to put them on the southernmost storefront system, that where our kitchen entry is.
Okay, yeah.
So this would just be one additional,
ADA north,
correct,
and nothing over the corner entrance,
correct.
nothing additional, I forget what's there.
Right. We just have a blade sign. So that there's a vestibule that you would enter into before you actually get into the hotel. And so that vestibule kind of serves as some covering.
Okay, so I think I understand all that, and then in terms of the barbecue grill on the upstairs. I noticed that in the photograph, which I assume was photoshopped, somebody you show.
It's a real picture. That's our mock-up.
It's a real picture with the mock-up, and there's the support for the veranda, there's that, craftsman style. Pillar with some scroll work on it.
Right.
And it's sort of just tucked in just to the
Yeah.
right of that. Was there any consideration given to putting a little extra woodwork in there or something to block the steel? From sight from the street? Or
Are you talking about just above the trellis structure?
so there's the trellis is supported by.
Right.
Vertical members.
Mhm.
And there's a vertical member, and in the picture you see, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I have it backwards. Yeah, so in the picture, you see the steel framework extends a little bit to the left. A little bit to the east, beyond that vertical member, and I'm wondering if you have any considerations of any woodwork or anything to further screen that steel enclosure.
Do you mind if I walk over and just look at the
Sure.
screen with you? Thanks.
Yeah, I remember exactly backwards from what it is, so.
Yeah, so cover that, I mean, yes, the answer is
Yeah, so I'm saying, have you thought about any wood to cover over here?
over here.
Yeah, well, pointing to is the left of it, there's the vertical member which holds up the veranda, talking about.
Yeah.
Something just to the left, a trellis or something.
So we hadn't thought of that only because we felt like it was gonna interrupt the historic flow of, the layout, so we just think that the way it is now is really going to be the least obtrusive visually of any option.
Yeah, my question is whether you consider it, sounds like.
Yeah, we thought about it and we think it actually will draw more attention to it than what we currently have. But that little piece that sticks through, that's to the west of the columns, we would probably just put like a piece of painted hardy board that's painted the color of the trellis, just so that you don't see the backside of that metal.
Are you gonna use this slatted, are you gonna try to match this other shiplap or whatever that is, siding? Or you're just gonna go straight?
No, I think a smooth panel will look the best.
I'm sorry, what panel?
A smooth panel.
What's the blue panel?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, you're looking at this from street level is the only place you can see it. And so I think the less busy, the better.
Mock-up, does that mean it could change?
Yeah, it's screwed on. So what's up there, I mean, it could stay or it could be easily unscrewed. So the construction is just a metal channel, and then, metal panels that are fit to it.
Change in such a way that it protrudes further east.
That's if our mock-up is approved, then that becomes permanent. It just, I'm just saying that kind of tongue in cheek because like we just really needed to figure out the logistics of how to do it. And we just said, let's just take the chance of building this thing. It's literally held together by sheet metal screws. And if it doesn't work, we unscrew it.
So if our findings approve it as consistent, a permanent structure consistent with the current mock-up, then we
Yeah.
would not have to come back again.
What you see is what you get, with the exception of us adding a little panel to cover any exposed backsides, so they're.
And just to double check, you're saying that the smooth panel, the paint color would be matched to
The trellis. Yeah, so it will read as a homogeneous shadow, basically, of just a block of color that.
Is it up there now?
Yeah.
That what this photo was?
Yeah,
Wasn't rendered in.
no, no.
That's what I both was, there could be some AI there to just plug it in.
Yeah,
I went and looked at your building and your new free parking for the unloading zone.
yeah,
I couldn't find parking, so I thought, I'll just be a hotel guest.
right, good.
Questions for that? We will now take public testimony. Those wishing to provide testimony, please wait until you are called on. Please come to the podium to state your name and address. After everyone has had an opportunity to speak, the board will have an opportunity to ask questions of staff and the applicant before we close the public hearing and begin deliberations. Still no one online? Are there any questions for staff or the applicant?
Could you just clarify, you said the blade sign is exempted from this? What's the nature of that?
So just signs in general and the sign code fall outside of landmarks, and it's just an exception to those fees.
The reason why I ask is because the nature, for example, of the light bulbs in the Sunset Light Well, and the nature of the painting of the sign on the back of the, where it used to say women's bathrooms, whatever it's, those were both discussed extensively at the earlier hearing.
Yeah, so the reason for that is both the marquee sign extending beyond the roof line and the size of the painted wall sign were both subject to variance. And that's why it was wrapped into that greater review when they went through the original approval, site plan, variance, and landmarks.
I thought maybe I was imagining we talked about it, but we talked about it for special reasons.
Yeah, and the reason a lot of the other Blaine signs showed up is just it was still originally on their renderings. So it was part of the submittal package, but like the blade signs weren't actually contemplated beyond those two. That's correct.
Additional questions? This concludes the public testimony and oral argument portion of this hearing. I will now close the public hearing. We'll now begin deliberations.
I have no objections to anything.
I'm good too. I think, you know, they've been good partners with the city and I think people are generally happy with how the project is coming.
Cindy, I have one comment, and I think it's all very approvable, and the only thing I want to add is on the awning on the east side of the building, any signage has to get permits first on the awning. They may creep up too.
So I thought the awning was described.
In the first approval.
So, yeah, what is the language that we have for the awning description?
To match existing, which is the design from the original as well. It's also an architectural feature, so any signage related to that, you guys could either not allow right now or just make some condition that they'll have to go back through landmarks to put anything on the awning.
Is it implicit is it implicit in current proposed findings?
There's no signage shown on the proposed awning.
So with that,
And I'm just trying to point.
I'm trying to be sure, no, I completely agree, so.
Those things creep in.
No, I completely understand, so I'm asking is, do we need to add a finding to do that, or is that already implicit?
Condition number 1 also already states that any future signs will require a permit.
Yeah, if you creep one in.
And will the awning always, will it be striped like you have here?
Yep, it'll be,
Any addition?
it's conditioned to match the existing.
So
Existing, you mean historic?
The
Because that was.
yeah,
So-
which does match the historic, but the one that they
The First one to match the historic images that we have, but we don't know what colors those were, and now this is conditioned to match that.
correct.
And all others added to the front for unity would be striped as well.
We're only contemplating this one. Yeah.
They like us so much, they wanna see us again. If they just-
Yeah, no.
Chris?
Really just one comment in terms of the fact that, at least for the east facade, that there were 4 awnings, and Secretary of Interior standards generally, if you know what the historic was, that you turn it to that, so, you know, and it's following in that discussion of if there's potential budget for those additional awnings that, from a Secretary of Interior standards, that would be for.
Opposed to two.
And really kind of a side comment, there are some apps or applications that can polarize black and white photos. Very success. I don't know if that would help provide guidance, but there's already money installed, but.
They make up beige.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's always, historic ones are always just some form of beige, and people's faces are beige, everything's beige.
I've seen some success with historic logging camps. That's the only time I've.
I actually,
Other than that,
I spent a fair amount of time with those and I'm not happy.
Not happy. Other than that, I have no other objections.
So are you asking for some language either to approve up to 4?
That's a good question. I think it's, I really was just mentioning in a side comment that to meet Secretary fully, that if there is resources in the future that those awnings.
Yeah, that's a good
At
point.
least those other 2 windows, and if there are historic photos of the north facade uncovered at some point, it shows awnings that.
You could add that as a condition now. East side. That if they wanted to put the other 2 up identical to what's there now. Or what we're
Match the
approving in the
historic,
other
yeah.
2. So, yeah, I think that would be a fair thing to do. Then you don't have to come back.
It sounds like a motion in a second.
Yeah. I moved. Let's approve the application as
With
as
That
submitted.
change.
Yeah, sure.
With no awning on the corner window, the big.
Yeah, with,
So
as
that would
shown
be
in this.
three extra.
Right. There's one there now, so you could put two more on the east elevation.
The good thing about awnings is that they could always be rolled
Rolled
up.
up.
Right? So,
Rolled up, yeah, and with no signage.
and with no signage.
I don't have any concerns. I'm supportive of the project. I mean, especially when the applicant was first before us and what they have delivered is great. So this seems to be going in the same course.
I think it's pretty consistent with what we approved. The only complaints I've heard are well out of our scope. So,
So we made a motion.
so there's a motion and a second. You can ask if there's any further discussion.
Any further discussion?
See. Just take a vote. Anyone?
All right, so I move to approve file number 2026-17 to allow for exterior modifications to the Wacoma Hotel building at 201 Cascade Avenue as described in the staff report, including the findings and recommended conditions of approval in the staff report and the additional recommended condition.
Thank you.
Want to vote down the line?
I approve, yay.
Yay.
Arthur? Yay.
Have to say aye.
He started.
Thank you.
His fault.
I know.
Sure.
Yes, I did.
Yay.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, the one other item we wanted to discuss was July availability. And we wanted to check for July 8th, July 15th, and July 29th.
That's for the next hearing.
Next hearing.
I'm not available the 29th. I think I'm available for each one, either one.
They work for me.
Perfect.
Oh, for me.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm good.
looks like we're well into a quorum, so I think we're gonna shoot for the 15th. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a rooftop modification for the Whiskey Tango building, Sprout building. For a rooftop venue. And then also Kings and Daughters at the Dana Love 416 Cascade is gonna be making some modifications to a proposed sail shade structure over the approved food cart area.
Okay, very popular place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jacob, you know if the Masonic building was able to move ahead at all on any of the things approved?
I know that they, I believe, have been issued their mechanical permit. But beyond that, I don't think they've done any other modifications that we've approved.
Hearing closed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabe.
Good luck.